It's 5:30, so we'll call to order this meeting for Monday, July 20th. Carl, can you give me a roll call, please?
Councilmember Remley.
Here.
Ronayne.
Here.
Lunsman.
Here.
Rife.
Here.
Johnson.
Present.
Reinbold.
Here.
Langer. On the screen. Rux.
Here.
Mayor Schoeneman.
Here, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll entertain a motion to approve last week's minutes for the meeting of July 13th.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Rux and a second from Councilman Lunsman. Carl, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion does carry. Next, we've got open forum. We've got two speakers here on the open forum agenda. First and foremost, we'll have Eric Vetter. Eric, were you here earlier? Where did you go? All right, so what's going to be the best way? There you are.
Just here, does this work?
I think so. Have you got a microphone back there?
Yep.
Perfect. Give us a test to make sure that it works.
Testing, there we go. All right, well, I'm Eric Vetter. I'm with the Mayor's Advisory Committee for People with Disabilities. And as first, I want to thank you guys for participating in our little vision thing we got going on here. This year is the 30th anniversary of the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And the actual date is July 26th, which is this Sunday. And Tom handed out some flyers on kind of what the Mayor's Advisory Committee is doing to celebrate it. We were planning on having a big old shindig, but the COVID thing, just like everything else in the world, kind of put that to an end. So we're giving away some free drinks down at the Red Rooster, and we've got cups that actually have the ADA 30 logo on it. And we're doing that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I encourage you guys to go down there and get your free cup. And it's kind of a cool cup. It changes colors. It's got the logo on it. So that way, every time you're taking a drink out of that cup, you can remember this day and when you were wearing your goggles and looking at your agendas through that. Has everybody got one of them?
I have no idea.
There we go. Oh, yeah, right. Can't see anything. And then I'd also like to thank the city for doing what you've done. Right now, as I emailed Robin here the other day, and we were talking about curb cuts, and the city has just done a wonderful job at making replacing curb cuts in this city, and we're down to, I can't remember what was the number. Do you remember what? 75. Around 75 curb cuts yet to do in the whole city, and that is just absolutely outstanding. Not only do curb cuts help people with disabilities, but mothers and strollers, kids and bicycles. There's a lot of reasons, or a lot of things that might be disability related, but it also helps other people. I mean, how many people go and have their arms full and hit a push button, to open a door? That was made for a person with a disability, but everybody uses it because their hands are full, and now they still want to get into the building without having to reach the door. So anyway, I'd just like to thank you guys for putting the money towards what you did, and I encourage you, to make sure that when you are planning out for different things, to keep the ADA in mind. Especially when it comes to the parks. About the only thing that would really be nice to see out at Milgard Park would be a sidewalk to the bathrooms. I'm hoping Travis gets a chance to go out in some grass. He's going to spend 24 hours in a wheelchair for me, and then he's going to write about it. And but hopefully he gets a chance to, go out with his family, maybe to a park, wheel around in some grass. Things like that, but I encourage you guys to make sure you keep us in mind when you're doing different things within the city to make the city the best place to live possible.
Sounds good. Clint?
So, Eric, thank you for everything you do for your advisory committee for the mayor. One question is you talked about curb cuts, But with those curb cuts usually come a sidewalk. How important are sidewalks to people with disabilities?
Sidewalks are very important. First of all, if you have somebody with very low vision and they're using a cane, that gives them an actual area to go. So, it actually keeps them straight. If you're just wandering along with your cane trying to find side to side and you're not necessarily going straight. So, a sidewalk's really important there. And then for a wheelchair, it is really important. It's hard to even stress how hard it is to go across just my own yard. Honestly, if I could pave my whole yard, I would, because just getting from the one side of my yard to the other side, it's a total workout. By the time I'm done, my heart's pounding. I'm like, okay, it's time to take a little break. And, so if a person has to cross a whole lot that doesn't have a sidewalk, or there's a skip in a sidewalk, it's really important to have sidewalks. So the more sidewalks you can, and again, not only people with disabilities use them, everybody's going to follow that sidewalk also.
And I only mention that because in some areas of our community, sidewalks are not a regular thing. And a lot of times I see people with disabilities riding their scooters or their electric wheelchairs out in the street. And like I say, that's one thing is, curb cuts are nice, but we have a lot of curb cuts that go to nowhere. And like I say, I think it's dangerous when those people have to ride on the street. So.
Yeah, and I believe there's an ordinance now for sure that there has to be sidewalks for it. I just hope that when I know it's tough to make a owner that has just a bare lot put a sidewalk in, but boy, it would sure make everybody's lives easier when it comes to, like you said, you go down a sidewalk and all of a sudden you got a blank gap and then sidewalk on the other end. So.
Thank you very much, Eric, and thank you for the wheelchair.
Yeah, have fun.
We also have Mr. Wanty. All right. Sounds good. Well, for Eric had kind of mentioned it, but I've agreed to do a full day in a wheelchair, so that's why I didn't stand for the Pledge of Allegiance as I usually do, and we'll have to check back in a day and see how difficult this has all been. We'll move along to our consent calendar. We've got possible approval of 4 items, routine city business. Can I get a motion to approve those 4 items?
Moved.
Second.
I've got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilman Remley. Does anyone have any questions as it relates to these consent calendar items? Otherwise, we'll do a voice vote on that. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion does carry. Next, we've got new business. We've got a resolution affirming the official seal/logo and flag for the city of Aberdeen. Possible approval of the resolution. And Joe, you prepared that for us here tonight, and I know that I spoke to Gail, who wishes to speak a little bit here tonight as well. So, Joe, kick us off.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just as a little bit of a catching up, and probably I'm learning as much as everybody, the city does have a flag that was adopted in the 80s. It's back in that corner. Also, we have a seal, or perhaps a logo, you might call it, which is on the back of all of our chairs. And we've been using all of that for a long time. And in the past year or so, there's been a community branding process, and they've offered up the opportunity for the city to utilize the community flag that has been designed. And so just to clarify a little bit, some questions that have come up is, we talk about the city flag, that's an organization. We're an organization, kind of a business, but a governmental entity. And this community flag has been designed as part of the partner organizations in town, and they can use that. We could use that if you adopt it. There's nothing that means the flag has to be changed. That question has come up a little bit, but it is a good opportunity for discussion. And I just wanted to bring it up when Gail first presented it. We kind of put it on hold a little bit to allow you to gauge some input from the community. And last meeting it was brought up. You've received some of that. So really the idea for tonight is to discuss that, what you've heard, what you're feeling, and see moving forward what you're comfortable with.
Thank you, City Manager. I guess this might be a good time to kick it over to Gail, since you are here. Gail spearheaded the effort for the new community brand over at the Chamber of Commerce.
Just take one pass it. Cool. You take one pass on. I'm sorry. I forgot you had this.
So what am I going to do with it?
Oh. Okay, is this working? Do they have different disabilities, hearing and eyesight up there? No? Oh, okay. Might be good to know that. Okay.
It is claimed a lot of times we don't listen.
So thank you for allowing me the opportunity to quick speak tonight. Lisa Anderson and Tiffany Langer were here maybe about a month ago when we launched the new brand. And as part of that process, Pinned Workshop, as our designer, encouraged us to develop a new community flag. And probably like most of you, it was a brand new concept to me, still is. I wasn't aware that, cities were doing that and using that as a marketing tool. But the more we learned about it and the more examples we have seen from other communities, Sioux Falls is really predominant in that, that we thought, why not have another tool in our arsenal to market the community and for people to show community pride. So I've just put together some information here that, and some of this you may have seen before, but it is a good, gives you a good idea of, what is a flag, what should be on a flag. These aren't rules that we developed. We have no experience designing flags, anything like that. But just really look to our, to Pinned Workshop, the group that did the brand for us. They did a lot of work to design 3 different flags. And as you know, we put that out to the community. And you know what? We got great response from that. We got people who are pretty positive. And you can see in the handouts that I gave you that the one that people chose. And so from that point, we knew there was still maybe a lot of confusion out there of what a flag is, what was our current flag. And so I understand that if the city would like to take a little more time in developing the flag further, we would be happy to do that. I have not heard from any of the council prior to today about the flag or any questions about it or the design process, but we would be happy to visit with any of you. And I think, I don't want to speak for Tiffany, but as her company designed the flag in that aspect, I think they'd be happy to visit with anybody about what went into that. And if we think as a community we need a little more time to take a look at it, we're okay with that too. So really, tonight, you may want to go forward with your seal, your Aberdeen seal, and establishing that as your official seal if you have not done that already. But I would just ask that maybe we table the discussion on the resolution for the flag if there is more discussion to be held.
Thank you, Gail. Look to the council for input that we might have in terms of the logo design or the possibility to table this discussion further. Councilman Reif.
Ron, I can't see you at all, but I would ask: have we ever made the Aberdeen seal official?
I'm not aware that we have. I'm not saying we haven't. I just haven't looked at to see whether that's done. If there was some indication on the part of the council to move forward, I believe any action it takes can be done by motion. Doesn't necessarily need to be done by resolution. Although a resolution is a little more permanent and a clear designation of the council's intent. So if you were looking at moving forward, and if you were looking for a little more time, it would be better probably to do that by resolution, one that I could draft. Are you talking about just the seal?
Yeah. So if we were to just, if we were going to table the flag discussion for a later date, and then what I'm asking is, can we still pass a motion to make the Aberdeen City seal the official seal, or do these things have to go together?
No, they do not need to go together, and a motion would be sufficient.
And Josh, are you referring to the seal that we see on our screens here?
Yes.
Or that some of us see on our screens?
Yes.
And I do want to add to that a little bit, because I said the same thing when I got here. The city has 2 trademarks on that seal. So if there's anything official to it, I think that does kind of make it ours.
Councilman Johnson.
Well, I would like to move that we accept and adopt the seal as shown on screen currently and on the top of our resolution letterhead, and that we table discussion on the flag.
Second.
We've got a motion from Councilman Johnson and a second from Councilman Rux to approve the city seal and to table discussion on the flag design for the time being at the request of the Chamber of Commerce. Is any discussion around that, or shall we take a vote on?
Actually, does the tabling have to be a separate motion?
Ordinarily, it should be two motions.
Yes.
Okay. I move first to accept and adopt the seal.
And my second.
Does anyone have any questions for the city manager or the city attorney or any general discussion as it relates to the city seal?
So are we saying that we don't want a resolution and wait a week or so, and we're just gonna do this by voice vote, or?
Yes.
Make sure that I understand.
Okay, so your motion, Councilman Johnson, would be to accept this
By voice vote this evening. And then in a follow-up motion yet to come, we'll address the flag.
Sounds good. If no one has any questions, we will take a voice vote on that. All in favor?
Mr. Mayor, excuse me, is Councilwoman Langer on the call?
She keeps disappearing.
She's still.
Yeah, I don't think she's there. Okay,
I guess
there
I
we
would
go.
just say if she's no longer in the meeting.
No,
then
There she
I'm
is.
back. I got kicked
Oh,
out.
then you should
Sorry,
do
I'm back.
you should do roll call. Mayor.
Okay, sounds good. Ms. Langer, I don't believe that you probably heard much of that. So there was a motion to approve the seal and to make it a separate discussion between the seal and the flag. So the first vote will be to accept this existing city seal as an official seal. That has a motion and a second. Do you have anything to add to that, or we'll just take a vote?
Voting is per.
I didn't catch that. Okay.
We can vote. I'm good.
Carl, give me a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Remley,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Lunsman,
Aye.
Rife,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Rux,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion is accepted. Did you want to go ahead and make the motion to table the other discussion
Yes.
then?
I move that we
Councilman Johnson?
table discussion on the flag for 2 weeks.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion from Councilman Johnson and a second from Councilman Rux to table the discussion on the flag. And does anyone have any questions or anything to add to that? Otherwise, Carl, give me a voice vote, please.
Councilmember Rux,
Aye.
Langer,
Abstain.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Rife,
Aye.
Lunsman,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Aye.
Remley,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got the approval of the bill list for July 20th, 2020. As shown in your packets, there's been no additions since that packet has been presented. Can I get a motion to pay the bills?
So moved. Second.
I've got a motion from Councilman Reinbold and a second from Councilman Rux. Carl, give me a roll call vote on that, please.
Councilmember Remley,
Aye.
Ronayne,
Abstain.
Lunsman,
Aye.
Rife,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Rux,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got the payroll approval of the pay period from July 5th through the 18th, 2020, and for the city's share of Social Security, old age, and survivors insurance, retirement, and health and life insurance. Can I get a motion to make the payroll, please?
I move that
we pay people.
Second.
This was more elaborate. I'm going with that. Got a motion from Councilman Ronayne and a second from Councilman Rux. Carl, give me a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Rux,
Aye.
Langer,
Aye.
Reinbold,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Rife,
Aye.
Lunsman,
Aye.
Ronayne, Remley,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion does carry. Next, we've got the city manager's report. Mr. Guy, you've got some information for us here tonight.
Yeah, just a couple comments on my progress here. I'm most of the 1 month mark already, so It's been very, very fast moving, a little bit different doing the budget the first 2 weeks and learning departments through that. And then getting to know the departments and the people. I've got most of those tours completed, and it's given me a different perspective on what they've asked for in the budget. So it was a little different to get them in that order. Started to have community visits with the organizations and members, and that's enjoyable. Having a great time, going to some community events, and just appreciate the community embracing me as I get acclimated.
Biggest surprise 1 month in, Mr. Gah?
I don't know if there's been any surprise necessarily. It's just maybe if it's a surprise, I don't know if it's a surprise, but it's a good feeling that people are excited to meet the city manager. They're reaching out to me, and it's just really the openness of the community has just been really, really impressive.
Great. Well, glad to have you on board. Anything to add by anyone before we move to adjourn for the evening? Councilman Ross.
I have a question for Robin. Looks like there's some work going to be going on South Lawson Street.
That would be correct. We are going to be doing mill and overlay south of 12th Avenue. We did the section from 6th Avenue to 12th a few years back. We intend on doing some seal coating in that area. And we will be doing that mill and overlay along with things along 1st Avenue here, as well as 4th Avenue and some of 3rd Avenue out toward east of Dakota Street.
In prior discussions with the South Lawson work, there's going to be some drainage improvements.
We will be adding a couple inlets. The water travels all the way from 12th Avenue. It did travel all the way down to about 17th or Meadowbrook in that area. And it's a long ways for that water to travel. It accumulates and it gets really, really full when it gets down to its last inlet. So we are going to try to add some intermediate catch basins to try to pick that water up ahead of time. It should help us stop some of the flooding that happens down at that south end.
Thanks, Robin.
Yeah.
I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Adjourn.
Second.
Got a motion from Councilman Johnson, a second from Councilman Lensman. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Thank you very much, gentlemen.